show is going to be a little different for you. I want you to keep in mind that I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. You see, guys, with great pain comes great comedy. I think Spider-Man said that. It's right after his uncle died. He'd done a few open mics, and his friends told me it was hilarious. But then someone told him, stick to what you're good at. Walls. You can stick to walls really well. What I'm trying to say is, guys, the parts you laugh at tonight are the comedy. The parts you don't are the art. Start off a little bit about myself. It's good to be back here in Dayton. I'm from here originally. Yeah, that's fine. That's how I felt too. But I moved down to Cincinnati. It's where I've been living now, and it's a lot different. You wouldn't think so, but like Cincinnati's actually that much closer to Kentucky, so there's some noticeable differences. We have the most entertaining homeless people in Cincinnati. There's a guy in my neighborhood who break dances for tips. What he does is he lays out the cardboard, busts a move, rebuilds the box, and then lives in it. He's really good too. You should see him tear the roof off that sucker. Holy cow. I tried to make it rain, but all I had were the gold dollar coins, so it just looked like Super Mario fell in some hard times. But I moved down there because I was unemployed, and unemployment is not nearly as much fun as making it sound. Like, there's nothing good on TV anymore. They canceled all my stories. So now if I want to watch any kind of daytime drama, I gotta watch Lifetime Channel original movies. Ooh. Yeah, that's a treat. I was watching this one, stop me if you've heard this one. It's about a woman who gives birth in a hospital, and then her baby gets kidnapped. And I'm like, oh my God, that's how a chicken feels every day of its life. Just chickens running around like Harrison Ford and Firewall, like, give me back my baby. And you can't give a chicken a fake baby like they did to Angelina Jolie and Changeling, because then you get the weirdest episode of Maury Povich ever. Because with an accuracy of 99.9%, Mick Jagger is the baby's father. He's like, no. I'm afraid that all the kids think Mick Jagger and Steven Tyler are the same person. That's one of my big fears. But no, they tell you if you're unemployed, you need to do something to keep your skills up. So I played a lot of Grand Theft Auto. That way I can put on my resume that I know how to rob other people and not go to jail. And that's how I got my job at the bank. Where I would spend all day telling people no, I'm sorry, you can't take out a flex line on your rental property to pay off the mortgage in the first lien position, but you can take out a home equity loan on your property to pay off that, and then refinance your rental property to pay off the home equity loan you just took out. And I don't even know what that means. But I'm pretty sure that's why people were breakdancing in my neighborhood. Like a lot of comics that you'll see, I also had a really bad childhood. I come from a series of broken homes. The first one's made of straw. The second one's made of twigs. And my childhood wasn't hard because my dad wasn't there. It's hard because my dad isn't all there. My dad actually has a high-functioning form of autism called Asperger's, which sounds like what you get from a gay McDonald's. Like 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, AIDS. And, oh, too soon, we miss you, Greg Louganis. So if you, growing up with my dad, I had to learn all of his tics where he walks around on his toes a lot, and I'll go over a box of toothpicks and be like, 97. But he can never tell me that he loves me. And that's why I do stand-up, folks. I get on stage and work out my daddy issues. I mean, it was either this or become the saddest stripper in history. Do you guys really want to see me dancing in a cage? To Sarah McLachlan. In the That would be terrible. I would be the worst stripper ever. Like, my tramp stamp would be a hand turkey. I'd have to dance to pour some Splenda on me. Try not to have the sugar from, diabetes. A fun fact though, diabetes, originally created by vampires to make poor people taste like Kool-Aid. Learn many, folks. This is education through laughter. You can take that to the office on Monday, that'll be fun. But no, I do comedy, and comedy's really, really hard if you don't have like a funny name or a guitar. It's also really hard trying to tell jokes when you look like Sinead O'Connor had an orgy with Bruce Willis. Lex Luthor, Dr. Evil, Mini-Me, Alfred Hitchcock, Andre Agassi, Howie Mandel, Michael Chiklis, a fat Vin Diesel. Dwight D. Eisenhower, Winston Churchill, Voldemort, and Buddha, and Nosferatu, and Kojak, and Jigglypuff, and that guy in the front row. And then they had an orgy with Right Said Fred, Moby, Michael Stipe, who's the guy from Smashing Pumpkins?
Billy Corgan.
Thank you, Billy Corgan, and Jason Statham, and Patrick Stewart, and Steve Jobs, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. This part's for the guys in the back of the room. And Augie Smith, Alex Stone, Mike Baldwin, Joe Coy, Joe Roy, Roy Haber, Curly from the Three Stooges, Samuel Jackson, because he's in everything. Mr. Clean, Mr. Magoo, Uncle Fester, the bad guy from the Da Vinci Code, Darth Vader with his helmet off, the door guy, and Demi Moore and G.I. Jane. Really hard we don't have that joke. I'm also supposed to talk to you guys about things that you can relate to, like how men and women are different. And that's really going to be hard for me because I'm gay, and I don't know anything about women. Like, do they get pregnant when you push them up the stairs? Is that how that works? I understand the reciprocal. And I know, you guys probably didn't know this, it is actually such a treat to be here for you guys, because you are being entertained by the Midwest's premier gay comic tonight. I am the Johnny Bench of butt sex. Alright. Hall of Fame catcher. And you look like you make a great Tom Browning. So I'm just... That is my dad's most and least favorite joke at the same time. And I know you guys are a little tensed up right now. Don't worry. I'm not so gay that I think the hymen is a football trophy. But I am gay enough that my mom had to have a C-section. So... I know, Canadian pussy is just ham. I'm still not going to eat it. So I get behind all the gay issues, right? Like, I support civil unions. I think gay couples should be allowed to adopt a highway. I was really glad when they repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell, even though I do enjoy a good military discharge. Why are you booing? I supported the troops. What'd you do, buy a Toby Keith album? Like the one thing that I can't get behind, besides a woman, am I right? This guy knows what I'm talking about. Put down the donut, officer. No, guys. The one thing I can't get behind, though, are the way that we're fighting for gay rights, because really there's no one fighting for gay rights out there. Like, we don't have a Martin Luther King. We don't have a Fagnito preaching homo superiority. Like, the worst we'll do is we'll get mad and throw glitter on a senator. Ooh, really, Jubilee? That's your superpower? And then, like, our civil rights marches, or where we block off downtown traffic on a Saturday afternoon, so a 400-pound guy in a rainbow thong and body glitter can be like, your son will come out tomorrow in a sequin dress, leather boa. I know that he'll say he's straight and lonely, but with a few beers, he's fierce and gay. We get it, you're gay. You might have been born gay, but you chose to be that fucking gay. So I had to come out to my parents recently, because I didn't know they were in the audience. It's a very intimate thing to share into a microphone. So we sat down afterwards, and my mom was like, so Vincent, are you? And I'm like, yes. She's like, I thought so, but I wasn't sure, because I haven't seen you with anybody. I'm like, well, now you're just being mean about it. Like, I've been single for so long, I've scheduled a colonoscopy. I got it on Craigslist. It was a good deal. You can't have a big deal. But no, like when you're single though, like friends want to like always give you dating advice and stuff, and I understand why I'm single. It's because I'm not crazy. And then you guys go, oh, what does that mean? How many of you have exes? Yeah. How many of those exes are crazy? Right, how many of you are probably that crazy ex too? Yeah. See, I'm not like a normal, unstable molecule that just has to bond with someone to be perfect. I'm a noble gas. But my friends, though, they think they've got it figured out, and they tell me that I'm single because I want it too bad. And if I stop wanting it, then that's when I'll get it, like it's a cable bill or something. If they're right, though, that's completely the problem. Because, like, I will never stop loving my ex-boyfriend. Like, I thought he was going to be the one, and that didn't work out. I still have his number in my phone. I have a tube sock with his picture on it. It's just a picture of him eating a banana. That's how I like to remember him. It'd been about like 6 years since I saw him, and I finally got brave and I called him. He came to one of my shows. He got fat too, so that made me feel a little better about myself. And then I got to meet his girlfriend. She was fat too, so that made me feel better about myself. And I expected to see him with another guy, just not the Lord, you know? So after the show, we went out, started getting some drinks, we were reconnecting. Turns out, like, he was still the boy I loved, but just not the man that I had hoped he had been. And his girlfriend got drunk and he had to leave. And as we were saying goodbye, he was like, oh, it's really hard for me to talk about my feelings. And I'm like, fuck your feelings, you're a dude. That's not how this works. Like, I went gay because I like to blowjobs in video games. And now he's got crying and bleeding and ugh. I guess the Bible's right. If a man lies with another man, he must be stoned. Because he can't tell me he loves me when he's sober. Boys are dumb. Boys are so dumb. He was, what was cool about him though is he's a big nerd, and I don't know, do we have any single ladies out there? Single ladies, put your hands up. Nope, just me again. Excellent. All right, well, statistically, half of this is going to apply to you. Is if you ever find yourselves back on the market, I have to tell you, nerds make the best lovers. So you know that if you want to be treated like a princess, you got to find a guy who thinks he's an elf wizard. You need a guy whose idea of cheating is up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, starts. And if you're bisexual, there's always Aquaman. He's got a wiener and he smells like fish, so you kind of get the best of both worlds there. And I understand like why Aquaman's a hero, he's got powers and stuff. I don't get why Batman is a superhero. Like he's just a billionaire whose only power is white privilege. And you know he's gonna get into some freaky stuff too. Like he probably uses his utility belt to like bat choke himself when he's masturbating. Gets Robin to spot him so he doesn't David Carradine himself. And you know it's gotta be awkward, like sex with Batman, which is like pow, wham, whoosh. And then right before he pulls out, smoke pellet. I bet he never calls either. I know my name's Holiday, but I hate the holidays. Like both the time of the year and the people. I hate my family. Last Christmas, our 30-foot, our party, that part's getting edited out, folks. No, last Christmas, our Christmas ham came on a 30-foot party sub. And my uncle told us not to get him anything for Christmas because his unemployment checks ran out. So he didn't get us anything. But then he started taking our pictures on his new iPhone he got with his last unemployment check. So it was kind of like we got him something for Christmas. And you guys pitched in, so thanks for that. Much appreciated. And he had no idea what he was going to do for retirement. So his plan was to hit the lotto and retire. And I was like, Terry, the odds of you picking the same 6 numbers that the computer randomly generates are like 1,866,240 to 1. He's like, I'm either going to win or lose, that's a 50-50 chance. I'm like, I don't think that's how math works, Terry. Math is the universal language, but you are not speaking it. And I actually had a pretty good Christmas, though. Big technophile. My parents actually got me a Kindle because they know I love books. But what they didn't realize is that the Kindle's probably going to destroy books as we know them. Like, it's cool when I move now, because my entire library is on a tablet, but there's certain things that you can't download, like that smug sense of superiority you get from sipping a $7 latte, or the irony of finding Wealth of Nations in the clearance bin. Like even the word Kindle means to burn. Like, how cocky do you have to be to name your products after what you want to do to your competition? So like the first book that I downloaded on my device designed to destroy other books was Fahrenheit 451. And then I also ended up getting a Juju pet. They're like little robot gerbils. Yeah. Well, I figure it'll last longer than the real ones. Right? You know, my butt is like the Auschwitz for gerbils, guys. It's more like a Dutch oven, though. And I hate Valentine's Day, like a lot of single people. Like my typical Valentine's Day is where, I'll be on Xtube, of course, and one of my favorite porn to watch, though, it's called POV or point of view porn. It's where the guy doing the bonins, the one holding the camera. Which first of all has got to be against guild regulations, because that's 2 jobs right there. But anyways, the guy, is doing the boning, that's supposed to be my wiener, and puts me in the illusion that that's me. And it's cool. It reminds me a lot of Call of Duty, because they're both first-person shooters. Like, and I would assume they have point of view porn for women, but I don't know what it would be. Like, is it just gonna be like 30 seconds of the ceiling, and then a close-up of the pillow? Or is it just a really shaky version of a Lifetime movie? Like, I don't know how you see things. But I decided I'd go ahead and treat myself this Valentine's Day. I got myself a bottle of wine. I curled up instead of the porn. I watched a documentary about fortune cookies in bed. And then I had a little teddy bear that said, "I love you." And I cut a hole in it. I just found it sitting in the shower the next morning crying. Adorable and deplorable. There we go, guys. Okay, have you guys like ever asked someone like, "Hey, how's it going?" And they're like, "Nothing." And you get like real confused because you're pretty sure that's not the answer to that question. Yeah, that's how I feel about creationism. Here's the thing. Like I get the idea of and where they're coming from. Like, let there be light, Big Bang Theory. I get it. You know, right idea, wrong words. Where I get really lost though is like on Genesis 1:26. It says God made man and woman. But then later on in Genesis 2, there's Adam, just frustrated that he can't suck his own dick. So God has one of his ribs removed. And when that doesn't work, turns it into a woman. So, and I know it sounds horrible, but it was the best thing that happened. Because honestly, if God made Eve first, she'd have just grabbed a cucumber and finished it herself, and then none of us would be here. So thank you, ladies. Thank you. But the real kicker is, they just go on about their business, begetting, and they make no mention to the first woman back in Genesis 1:26. Just nothing. Now, I've read the scripture. I've heard the arguments. I don't know if we'll ever know whether Jesus was black. I don't know if we can even tell if Adam was black. But I'm pretty sure the first woman God made was black, because she's been missing for at least 6,000 years. And no one seems to care. People are still looking for Amelia Earhart, right? That's a classic case of pretty white girl that missing. All right, maybe we'll try politics. That seems safe, right? See, here's the thing. I don't like the Republicans. I don't like the Democrats. I think they're both stupid. I'm ready for real change coming up. So for 2016, I'm just going to vote for a cat for president. I think they're qualified. He's going to ignore us and cover shit up. And we already got the campaign posters made. America, hang in there. Chairman Meow, 2016. Here we go. Now, if anything, I would probably vote for my cat for president. Her name is Margarita Sanchez. Yeah, I named my cat after my third favorite sexual maneuver. It's where you put your dick in the margarita and wipe it and salt the rim. Okay. But yeah, so I named her after my third favorite sexual maneuver because I didn't think the Boston Strangler and the Challenger Explosion sounded like good cat names. So, and I love cats and a lot. I love all animals, but cats in particular. And I get real mad when I see people just abusing them. Like I hate seeing a black cat named Midnight or a calico cat named Patches. Because I thought we got to the point where we could name cats based on the content of their character and not the color of their fur. And I hate when people will just yell at cats and spray them with water, because that's what the 1960s were like. And that cat could be president someday. A little white privilege left in here. All right. Prejudice, let's talk about it. A lot of people think that it'll go away if we stop talking about it. I'm pretty sure that only works with the Kardashians. So why don't we try that, guys? But that's my thing. It's like, I'm not going to stop talking about it until it goes away. Because if you look at what Dr. King did, just going from microphone to microphone, preaching against social injustice, and you look what he accomplished, imagine what he could have done with an hour-long special. So, that's why I hate corporations so much. It's because they're big hypocrites, and they're the most prejudiced institutions we have. Like, they start off, before you even get in the door, they're checking your Facebook, they're checking your credit, they're checking your zip code, and then they make you take that personality test, which you fail if you have one. Because while they want to celebrate diversity, they want to make sure you're just like everyone else that they've hired. They just want 50 shades of brown. So the last place I worked, they did all of our performance evaluations online, and they came out with this website that they wanted our work history and our accomplishments and our goals. And it had a spell checker, it had a grammar checker, and then it had a political correctness checker, which I guess is just to make sure we're not using inappropriate and offensive language like, my boss is an asshole and this job's a piece of shit. So I was putting in all my stuff, going through the PC checker. I highlighted geek, thought that was offensive. It was like, did you mean socially awkward? Like, I think that's more offensive than calling me a geek. Like, I hang out with a lot of geeks, and it is not awkward until I get drunk and try to cuddle. I went through again. I said I had a broad range of skills. And it's like, by broad, did you mean wide or woman? Like, I didn't think we worked with 1930s gangsters. Like, I meant wide, but then when I thought about how underpaid I am for the amount of work I do, it's like, no, I mean woman. So now apparently I used to be a server at the Caucasian Barrel. I guess Fifth Third Bank is offensive to dyslexic black people. And then it highlighted my boss, Dave Gaylor. It highlighted the word gay, but then it offered no suggestions for it at all. It was like talking to my parents again. It's like, gay? What's this? I don't know what it is, but I'm not having it here. And that's the kind of homophobia that I deal with, like, all the time. Like, constant, I hear the silly little jokes and shit like that. I have, like, an African-American boss of mine come up and tell me that he's cool with me as a person, he just doesn't agree with my lifestyle choice. And I was like, yeah, you're so right. My life would have been a lot easier if I chose to be black. I'll hear shitty comics throw the F word at the end of any sentence when they don't actually have a punchline for it. You're like, oh, what's the deal with airline food, faggot? First off, they're called flight attendants. And using that word doesn't make you cool or edgy, so don't do it. Like, I can say it, because I'm white. But like, the one thing though, that I can't stand, that really gets on my nerves, is when I hear someone say that they'd rather kill themselves than be gay. Because I'm gonna call bullshit on that. Like, I think if it came down to it, and they had a gun in their hand and a dick in their mouth, fear is the only thing they wouldn't swallow in that situation. Those people are fucking cowards. And I can't stand them. Fear leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. Like, I've tried to kill myself. It's a lot easier to be gay. Do you know how hard it is to find the right bed sheets to hang yourself with? Like, nothing goes in my garage. Alright, so I can see I lost you guys there a little bit. A little too artsy, too much art. Alright. There's some texting going on in the back. A lot of guys will get mad that I don't care. I just pretend you're tweeting my punchlines like a new episode of Glee. But probably like the weirdest distraction I ever had at one of my shows. I was at a coffee shop, and these elderly women pulled out yarn and started knitting in the middle of my show. Just going in town, little scarves and sweaters, and rookie mistake. I went to engage the audience. I was like, all right, knitters, please. And they were really upset with me. Like, I didn't mean any offense by it. Like, all right, my grandma crochets, and she doesn't like knitters. But I don't have a problem with them. So the one lady, I think her name was Pearl, she just starts yelling. She's like, that's not funny. Sounds like you're saying the N-word. I'm like, well, you're stupid. Knitter starts with a K. K, lady. My grandma hates that joke. I wish you guys could meet her. She is such a treasure. Because I don't know where she's buried. I'm glad you guys came out tonight. I appreciate you guys coming out, having a good time. We all need to laugh from time to time. I actually almost didn't make it to the show tonight because earlier this afternoon my dog died. And what's worse is it's kind of my fault because I didn't realize he had a peanut allergy. But at least he died doing something that I love. And that's what really matters, everybody. Guys, that's my time. I'm Vincent Holiday.